Coming up on this episode of Scary World, we go way back to 1954 as we celebrate the 70th anniversary of Creature from the Black Lagoon. Stay tuned. Welcome to Scary World, where we walk you through the latest and greatest in the world of horror. I am your host, Arturo Padilla.
Hi.
Remember, folks, no spoilers.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil the surprise.
Now that we got that out of the way,
We got some rules around here.
there are 5 categories: production, story, ensemble, horror, and legacy. Every category can earn up to 2 points.
Showtime.
Per IMDb, the synopsis goes, a strange prehistoric beast
He is the beast.
lurks in the depths of the Amazon jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. We're taking day by day.
A group of scientists
Jack, you are a scientist.
try to capture the animal and bring it back to civilization for study.
The cruel eye studying you.
Production.
Gather round and watch the magic pumpkin.
This movie was directed by Jack Arnold, who had previously directed It Came from Outer Space in 1953. Due to the success of House of Wax 3D, the studios, filmmakers, and producers wanted Creature from the Black Lagoon to be filmed in 3D as well. But because the 3D fad was kind of waning down at that point in 1954, the majority of audiences actually saw this film, Creature from the Black Lagoon, in 2D. It was only in the bigger cinemas, in the bigger city cinemas, that you were able to witness the 3D experience for Creature from the Black Lagoon. This movie also has a bunch of underwater camera work. It looks awesome. They did a great job filming all of the underwater scenes.
Science couldn't explain it, but there it was, alive in the deep, deep waters of the Amazon. A throwback to a creature that had existed 100 million years ago.
The scenes for underwater were recorded on a lot. Everything was actually made in a lot here. The detail that went into the actual set pieces, they made the audience transport right into the jungle. The studio, Universal, did a great job in making sure that all the set pieces, all the artwork looked good in terms of how it was shot. There was underwater scenes and land scenes. They were both shot on location in studio. The water scenes were actually shot down in Florida, and the land scenes were shot on location in California. This film, obviously shot in black and white in 1954, it looks great. They did a good job making sure that every shot was composed properly, that every shot looked great. The movie is edited really well. It's pieced together really well. They did a good job of making sure everything was nice and coherent. The runtime is very short. It's about 81 minutes, 82 minutes maybe, with the credits, but they make use of every single minute and make sure that everything is nice and cohesive, all the that everything is flowing very nicely. And for production, this movie gets a 2. Story.
What's the story?
This script was written by Harry Essex and Arthur Ross. Both of these writers were known for their mystery and their drama and their crime and their noir flicks. For instance, Dragnet was made in 1947 and was written by Harry Essex. This was one of the first horror films and slash sci-fi films that these 2 writers actually did. Arthur Ross, I believe, worked on It Came from Outer Space, but both of these writers were known for their non-horror, non-sci-fi work. The story we get here is quite simple. A little too simple for my taste, to be honest, but it is effective. Remember, we are working in 1954 where you want to get right to the point, and this movie kind of does get right to the point. I would have liked a little bit more exposition on the creature, a little bit more background on the creature and all that, but that's just me. They didn't seem to want to get too into the origins of this stuff, of this creature, of where it comes from and all that good stuff. That being said, this script, it's paced well. The acts hit well. The acts flow very coherently, very well. It hits all the proper beats. There's no bells and whistles in this script. There's no fluff. It gets straight to the point. I do wish they would have taken a little bit more time to just focus on the setting a little more, on the Amazon, what other dangers and what other kind of things they can encounter in this jungle besides the Gill Man, besides this creature from the Black Lagoon. But like I said before, it's a simple yet effective script. I would have liked a little bit more. And for story, this movie gets a 1. Ensemble.
They were acting real creepy.
The entire cast does a good job in this movie. There are no standout performances. No one really kind of going for the jugular with their performances here, but they're effective, just like the script. They're simple but effective characters that get from point A to point B to point C without much flair or drama or any of that. Aside from the cast, we have the antagonist, the creature, the Gill Man. He was played by 2 actors, actually. One of them did all the land work, and the other one did all the underwater work. Honestly, you can't really tell. Can't tell it's 2 different actors. But the one who did the underwater work is a very good swimmer. That's what I gotta say about that. And he looked great underwater too. The creature here is the standout performance, honestly. He doesn't have any lines besides just some R's and R's over here, but it does a great job conveying that creature terror, that monster terror. It knows how to walk like a creature. It knows how to not be human. And that's exactly what they needed for this movie. But I do wish there was maybe a little bit more in performance-wise from our protagonists. There were some chances to really kind of steal some scenes, but the creature overwhelmed pretty much everything here. And for ensemble, this movie gets a 1. Horror.
This place is spooky.
There's not much blood and gore in this movie. Obviously, it's 1954. There was not much of that anywhere. But what truly really stands out in this movie is the fantastic creature design. This Gill Man creature looks absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. In black and white, it looks really good on camera. Most of the time, the creature is glistening, it's moist, it looks wet, it looks like it's coming from the Black Lagoon, you know? It has a slimy look to it and a slimy texture to it.
See titanic underwater battles never dreamed of before in this most terrifying of the science fiction adventures.
The look, once again, the look of the creature really stands the test of time. That design is iconic. It's really cool when you get to actually just watch the movie just to study the creature itself. It's really cool how they made the suit breathe in a way. I'm not saying the suit was breathable because it was definitely not breathable. The actors definitely needed to stand in water the entire time because 1, they couldn't sit down, and 2, it was just very hot in that suit. But the way the suit breathed in terms of the character, when the creature was breathing, the gills were expanding, and that looked fantastic. To this day, that looks really good. It's hard to really come up with a design that iconic. And honestly, if you've seen the movies these days, you don't see that design being copied these days because it's just so universal monsters. It's so legendary that that's really all you needed to kind of terrorize the audience, right? It was the look of this monster, the weird, like, glassy, angled eyes of it, the fins, the long webbed hands and feet. It was quite the sight. I can't imagine what the audience in 1954 were looking at or how they were reacting when they saw the creature on screen. There were several kills in this movie. Handful, maybe 4 to 5 kills. As mentioned, there's no blood, there's no gore here, but what was accomplished with these kills was a great framing of the aftermath. You understood that these guys are no longer with us and they will not be coming back. And for that, for the creature design and the way the horror was filmed and the kills were filmed, this movie gets a big old 2 for horror. Legacy.
Penny for your thoughts?
As mentioned in the previous section, this movie has an iconic creature design that to this day is praised in the horror community. That legacy has been going strong since the mid-1950s, and to this day, many horror fans still love the design. of the Gill Man. They love the look of it. One of my favorite artists, guitarist from Mastodon, huge fan of the Gill Man and the creature from the Black Lagoon, has the gills tattooed and some of the, the scaling tattooed on himself. It looks really cool. But again, it's a testament to the design of the creature, the design of the suit. The prosthetics department and the practical effects department did a great job with this suit. It looks great on screen. It looks flexible, slimy, wet, moist, all that gross stuff. And it's really impactful on screen. It really makes the movie. If it wasn't for that suit and that look, this movie would not have the oomph behind it, the impact that it had in 1954, and it still has to this day for people who have never watched this movie before. Aside from the creature and its iconic design, this movie was fun. It's a fun watch, honestly. It's kind of like a mini popcorn movie. It's about 80 minutes long. You don't waste a lot of time with this thing. It gets straight to the point, and you can enjoy this movie with a tub of popcorn and actually have some laughs. There's some really questionable wigs worn by the indigenous people in this movie that I find really hilarious. You can kind of compare it to the terrible haircut Courtney Cox had in Scream 3. It was pretty terrible. But again, this movie was a fun watch. The creature had an amazing design that to this day is awesome and cannot be replicated. They didn't need CG to make this thing breathe. They created the suit in a way where the actor inside, when he would be able to move his jaws or something, the gills would just kind of expand. I'm very curious how they made that look, whether it was maybe somebody on the back doing something with the suit, I don't know, but it looked really good. And for that, and for legacy, the strong legacy this movie has, it gets a big old 2. So to tally it up, Creature from the Black Lagoon received a 2 for production, 1 for story, 1 for ensemble, 2 for horror, and a 2 for legacy, bringing its total to 8. 8 out of 10, folks. I had a surprisingly fun time watching this movie. As mentioned in the previous section, it's a short flick, it's fun, it's straight to the point, and the creature design is absolutely awesome. I cannot get over how great that creature looks in black and white. That's the beauty of that, right? You didn't need color to really bring out the green and the texture of that suit, right? It looks great. And many years later, 70 years later to be exact, it still looks really good, folks. This movie was released on March 5th, 1954. And this is the 70th anniversary this week of this great movie, Creature from the Black Lagoon, folks. Go out there, find it anywhere you have your Universal Monster stuff. I'm not sure if it's streaming anywhere, but go rent it. Or go buy the Universal Monsters Blu-ray pack. That's what I did. I love all those movies, and now I got them in the palm of my hands over here when I can watch them anytime I want. This one was no different, folks. So go watch Creature from the Black Lagoon. It turned 70 this week.
Can you tell me what time it is?
And that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for watching Scary World. Don't forget to leave a comment down below and press the thumbs up button on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends, tell all your buddies, tell everyone in your family to come to CorpseFeed, to subscribe, to like, and share the content on this beautiful page. Don't forget to check out our official podcast, The Morgue, dropping on Tuesdays. Here on YouTube, you can catch the actual live feed of that. You can also catch it anywhere you get your podcast. That is Apple, Amazon, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud. Anywhere you get your streams, we are there. Go check us out on all the socials. We are on Instagram, on X, on Twitch, on Facebook, on Threads, on TikTok. CorpseFeed is there, folks. Join us on Wednesday for another episode. And remember, it's a scary world out there, but we are here to walk you through it.
I just wanted to say goodbye.